If your money is just sitting in a standard checking account right now, you are literally losing money every single day due to inflation. But not all passive income accounts are created equal. Some give you pennies on the dollars, while others give you cash flow, tax write-offs, and true wealth building simultaneously. Today, I am ranking the top 5 accounts that will pay you passive income from worst to best. And make sure you stick around for number 1 because it's the exact strategy the 1% uses to build hands-free generational wealth without ever being a landlord. Let's go.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. You gotta get it done, or you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
All right, I am so excited to be here with my business partner and friend, John Raymond with Golden Trinity Real Estate Group. Let's talk about these 5 accounts, okay? Because people think that they're getting passive income and the numbers don't always work out. So let's talk about it. How are you doing today, though?
I'm good. I'm doing really good. It's great to be here.
Awesome. All right, so we have been raising money for Golden Trinity Group. Remember, if you want to invest in Golden Trinity Group, go to invest.goldentrinity group right now. But because that is a way to get passive income, but we're going to get into funds because we actually found how well funds can work, but we have some others. So coming in at number 5, though, is the one that everyone is talking about, and that is high yield savings account. So let's talk about high yield savings account for a second. There's so many out there. A lot of online banks are offering them online, like Capital One, for example. They had a really good one. The Fidelity, I must admit, the Fidelity cash management account is getting a lot of waves, and they're 3 to 4% interest rates on your money there. But there are some warnings with the passive income. So let's talk about you because you have the master's degree in finance from Washington University. So tell me, what do you think about high yield savings account and what are you seeing?
I mean, high yield savings accounts have their purpose, right? Like everything has its purpose, but it's something like that. If you're looking at it as an investment vehicle, it's not a great play. And the reason being that inflation, I mean, I think they came out the other day and said it was a 2.7 or 3.1%, right? So if your high yield savings account is netting you 3% per year and inflation's at 3% per year, so you're making no money, which is kind of wild that you can be getting 3% return and make 0 money. And so as that money's parked there, usually what you want that for is, it's a reserve account for bills, things like that. But once you get to that 6-month reserve, you should start moving that to somewhere else to start getting some kind of better return other than just like 3%.
Exactly. And that's why this one came in at number 5 on the list, because yes, their high yield savings accounts, they are FDIC insured. So that's a benefit. And of course, it's liquid. You can just go and grab the money back when you need it. So it's perfect for what? Like you said, emergency account. I absolutely think that is what it's best for. Like if you have an emergency account, you should have 1 month to 6 months saved. Every guru is going to tell you something different about your monthly bills of how much you should have saved in an emergency account. And the bottom line is a high yield savings account is amazing for that. But as for like making money, like you said, it gets eaten up by inflation. So if inflation is 3%, you're getting 3%, you got 0.
Yeah, net zero if that's what you're kind of going for. I mean, and it's still better than a traditional savings, but it's still not
better than just a traditional savings account at one of the big banks. I will give you that. And I think that's how they get you, because they were like, we're paying 9 times what the big banks are paying. Yeah, because it's like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase Bank, they're paying like 0.01%, 0.03%, stuff like that. And so if they're paying 3%, yeah, that is 9 times, 10 times what the average big bank is paying, but it's like almost still nothing. And I'm going to tell you another secret that people do not know about high yield savings account, because they will advertise those rates, 3%, 4%, but those are not fixed rates.
They're variable. They're variable rates.
They are variable. They are volatile. If the Fed changes, they change.
It's wild.
It's wild. So they will pull people in with those 3%. You go back and look a year later, you're down to 1.25. I've literally done that where I was like, hey, you told me 3.
Or they'll do an intro rate where they give you the intro high yield rate, and then after about 3 months, it drops down to 1.2 or 1.5%.
Exactly. Okay. So we already know. All right. So coming at the list, number 5 in passive income high yield savings account. So let's go with number 4 on our list, which is dividend stocks and ETFs. So obviously these can create some passive income. If you have a stock that you buy and it pays you dividends, great, that's passive income. Then you can reinvest, and so that your investment is growing. Same thing with ETFs, exchange traded funds. So of course those are amazing, and they also usually pay, have some really good dividends to them. I have one that I always tell people about, which is called JetQ. It's through Chase Bank. That's a really good one. It's provided me some really good dividends. But let's talk about those for a second, because if we're talking passive income where you're like, oh, I have money coming in every single month and I'm going to be retiring, then this usually isn't it either. So let's talk about that.
No, and a lot of it depends on like how early you get started, right? Like we've all heard that you start young and you get better returns over time. And if you're looking to get good returns on something like this, right? Like, and we're talking in comparison to like Golden Trinity, and you're putting $1,000 in the stocks and you're putting $1,000 into what we're doing. Let's say you're trying to buy Apple stock, Apple around $200 a share. So you're going to get 5 shares. And so the dividends on that aren't going to be very good.
Exactly.
And a lot of
Think
companies,
about 5 shares.
Yeah, 5 shares
instead of like 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000. Something that's really multiplying, but 5. So it's like, oh wow, I may, even if they killed it and you got like $5 for each, that would be $25. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Only
Yeah. So
shares.
the returns on that, comparatively speaking, it works at volume. I think is kind of what you have to do.
If you
there,
have
right?
millions, or even like even 800,000, you got like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that you can really deploy and leave in there. And like you said, time for a long time, 10, 20 years, you will do well. And you could create passive income for yourself after 20, 30 years of leaving it in the stock market. Because again, they're paying you off of their profits. Most people don't really understand that. Where are the dividends coming from? It's coming from the profits. They're splitting that with you as a shareholder, someone that owns stock. But another big thing about them is market volatility. If the market drops, the stock market drops by 20%, you could actually lose your principal.
Yeah. And you could lose all of it depending on if let's say you invested in Kmart, right? Or Sears or something like that.
Or BlackBerry.
I think the problem, not to get too much into stock analysis, but people don't look at the underlying fundamentals of a company anymore. They just go based off of what other people are saying. And it doesn't usually work well for people when you do that. So, dividend stocks, ETFs, they have their purpose. I mean, they all do. But as far as like, is this a way that you can build a ton of passive income? Well, yes, but not if you don't have a ton of money to kind of get started.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I said, good side, you could start with $50. You don't need a lot to get into buying stocks, but the downside is going to take you a long time to turn that into actually passive income that could even replace your income. So that's why it's number 4. Like I said, it is better, I think, than a high yield savings account, because you are actually investing and there's that potential for profits in those dividends. And it probably will provide you more passive income than a high yield savings account. But like we said, with market volatility in the stock market, it's probably not going to be the best. It's okay. All right. So moving on to number 3 on the list. Number 3 on the list, we're getting better. Okay. Is going to be CD, certificate of deposits and bonds. Okay. We put those two together because we felt like, okay, a CD from the bank, a certificate of deposit, that's going to give you a fixed amount. You leave the money there 18 months, 24 months, 36 months, 60 months, however many months your CD is. And they'll give you that amount if you leave it in there. So you can get some income from that. Same thing with treasury bonds, but 10-year, 20-year bonds, you get what I'm saying? You're going to have to leave the money in there for a while. So tell me your thoughts on that and why we ranked it number 3.
CDs are a good way for like beginners to kind of get things started, right? The good is the returns are very similar to what you would see on a high yield savings account, 3.5. Sometimes it can touch 4 depending on who the institution is. The difficulty is that you have to commit to 3, 6, 9, 12 months.
Your money is frozen.
And so you cannot touch it.
Yeah, you have to commit. I love that. Again, the good news, it's predictable. It's stable what the return is going to be. The bad part is that one really big. Your money is frozen. You cannot, without taking really big penalties, that money is frozen. You don't have access to it.
Right. And so the difficulty is if something happens or an event happens and you need that cash, you can't access it without being penalized or whatever. And then again, the returns on most CDs still right up around there with high yield savings account, 3.5. And so you're still running into that same problem of right now, inflation is super high. The cost of gas, the cost of housing, the cost of food, all of those things have gone up significantly in the last couple of years. And if they claim that it's a 3% inflation over the last, according to the consumer price index, but if you really look at the cost of things, I don't know how they're saying that. But so you're getting a 3% return, inflation is going up to 3%. Again, you're making $0 on that. And so it's in terms of investing, it's not a great way to make money, if at all.
It's not a great investment. My biggest thing with CDs and why I rank them so low is the fact that the money is frozen. So if an opportunity comes along, you can't take advantage of it. And one of the best things is being able to take advantage of opportunities. And most people can't get wealthy because when an opportunity comes, you have to act. You have to act. You can't, let me think about it. Let me talk to my husband and my wife and my kids and my dog and contemplate and do analysis paralysis. You have to get the money and take action. And when you have all your money in CDs, opportunity comes. How are you taking advantage of it?
Yeah. And well as anybody, right? Like when an opportunity comes up, those opportunities don't stay around for long because
right.
I think this is something that, as we see as real estate investors, right? Like people want to learn how to invest in real estate. If a deal is on the internet and it's being pitched by somebody and it's there for a really, really long time, it should tell you that it's not a deal because it's just sitting.
Exactly. Like a house that has sat on the market for 2 years. Probably not the best one if it's out there for that long. Yeah. No, I definitely, I totally agree with you. You have to be able to act. Again, why we tell you to take action and invest in Golden Trinity Group, because this is not going to be available forever. So invest.goldentrinitygroup.com. Okay, go there now, invest. It only is just $1,000. So let's get to the number 2, because now we're getting into the thing that I love. Number 2 was rental properties. So let's talk about why we feel like that was ranked number 2 and have beat out the others when it comes to passive income.
Right. So, I mean, rental properties, right? Like you're buying one property, you're collecting the rent. In most cases, right? Like your cash flow isn't going to be super high. You couple hundred, maybe if you're lucky, about $1,000 a month ish, somewhere in that range. But you do get the benefits of property ownership. You're going to get the appreciation from the real estate. You're going to get the depreciation if you buy it into a business that you can use to offset taxes, tax advantages, things like that. And then, over time, you're going to get the equity that is involved with paying that mortgage note down, and rent rates continue to go up over time historically.
Exactly.
So you'll be able
to
that
raise
hedges
those
and your
against
payments
inflation.
stays the same.
Yeah, that's why they always say, and people don't really understand, like, how do rental properties hedge against inflation? Because as inflation increases, you increase your rent. Simple. It's not rocket science. So it hedges against it. So as things get more, you just charge them more. If your taxes go up, you charge your tenants more. If you're you literally, it hedges against it. So that is why it's number 2. So people say, well, why it's not number 1? Well, because it's not passive. So yes, equity, yes, appreciation, yes, cash flow, yes, tax advantages, and you get to write off all of the expenses, especially if you're like a highly paid W-2 person. I have noticed they love real estate because if you're earning all of this income that the IRS can see, it's an amazing thing to be able to write off all of these expenses on an asset that you own that's going up in value. So it's like the perfect thing for anyone that's earning $100,000 per more a year. You really should have some real estate. So yeah, I love rental properties. Like I said, it offers all of those things. But if we're being honest, why it's not number 1 is because it's not passive. If you have rental properties, you're going to be doing stuff. You are going to be talking to tenants, signing leases, checking their credit, fixing toilets, you changing air filters in the HVAC. Like, you are going to be doing things. It is not passive.
Right.
So
right.
I love
and we've
rental
said
properties.
this over and over.
Yeah, great for
nothing
passive
ever breaks
income.
on a weekday between business hours. Everything's weekends and holidays.
It seems like it. It seems like it. And I think that's what scares people off from real estate. They've heard all the horror stories. So that brings us to number 1. fractional real estate ownership. That is going to be number one. And let's talk about that, because obviously, what is fractional real estate ownership? Let's start there. I'll let you explain it, John.
So what we've done is we've created a real estate fund, right? Like, so we're just talking our example alone. You can put in a very little amount of money and you get to own a piece of everything that we buy. So if we go buy 10 houses, you get to diversify your asset base across 10 different properties. And so fractional, you get to put in a little bit amount of money. We're going to go out and control several assets. And so you get a little bit of ownership in each one of those. So now you're going to get the cash flow benefits from the rent that we charge. You're going to get the depreciation benefits. You're going to get the equity benefits, the golden trinity of real estate investing, right? And so by doing that, now you don't have to take the phone calls. You don't have to deal with the tenants. You don't have to deal with the repairs, the plumbing problems, the people not paying their rent, things like that. We'll handle all of that for you. So you get the passive side and you get the benefits of the real estate investing, but you don't have to really do anything for it.
Yeah, yeah. Fractional real estate funds, like Golden Trinity Group, that's basically what we are. And what I love about it, like you said, is we talked about number two, rental properties. That's what it is. But for you as the investor, the person that invests in Golden Trinity Group or other, fractional real estate funds, it's completely hands off for you. You are never getting a phone call. You are never fixing a HVAC or never fixing a broken toilet. So to me, it is like why it's number one for passive income is because you get all of the benefits of owning real estate without having to do, and deal with the tenants and the guests.
Yeah, absolutely. And we created this with a very good intent, right? Like we want to help everybody get into real estate investing. We want to help them get all of the benefits of real estate investing. And we saw an opportunity that wasn't being served by anything else that I saw out there. In fact, we had to go through a special process to show why we qualified for this type of crowdfund. And I think that serves well to the people that want to invest in the benefits and everything like that. They're going to get cash flow. They're going to get appreciation. They're going to get equity, depreciation, all of those things, right? And we're trying to provide that to as many people as we can.
Yeah. And I'm going to say if you get access to commercial grade real estate. So you as your own investor, you're probably going to go out and try to find your own rental properties. Well, guess what? If you actually watch what we do, we would teach you the type of properties you should be getting. We will be teaching you the ones that are going to be best because we just have all of these years of experience. So we've learned all of the mistakes on what type of real estate, where the real estate should be, all of those things that you as an investor get to see. We kind of pull the curtain back and you get to see how we're doing the business, how we're running the properties, where we're getting properties. Like you actually get to learn and invest at the same time. And again, it's just a small investment. Just go to invest.goldentrinitygroup.com. You can even invest. I've had a team. It's so funny. People say you can invest with as little as $500. Yes, because if you have 500 and you have a business partner, they have 500, boom, you can put it in an LLC. You can even invest as a business. You don't have to invest in your personal name. You can invest in your business's name. That's, again, all on the website. It's all regulation crowdfund through WeFunder. So just go to invest.goldentrinitygroup.com and check it out. And I would even say one more thing. You don't have to go to a bank. This is not you signing up for a mortgage, showing your tax returns, trying to get approved by the bank, trying to get your credit score up. So if you have bad credit, for example, and you want to invest in real estate, well, this is the way to do it. Instead of you, getting rejected by the bank and them tearing you down about why you didn't pay this person and why you didn't pay that person. Well, guess what? Don't even deal with that. Invest in this. You have access to the property. Again, even another perk that you actually get a free night stay with just a minimum investment. You get one free night. With bigger investments, you get even more nights. So we've even had people just say, like, you know what, this is how I'm going to invest and get a vacation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good way to do it.
So that to me, why it's the best passive. So you get these distributions. Now we're not doing monthly distributions. Our plan is to do quarterly distributions, but they're just money coming into you. Once the fund closes and we're going, you're going to get your quarterly distributions as a investor. So to me, there's just so many benefits as to why you would want to at least check it out. And again, it's free to check out, invest.goldentrinitygroup.com. So, all right, let's recap, John. We're talking about 5 accounts. So do you have a high yield savings account?
Yes.
I do. Me too. So do you have a CD?
No.
No, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I have one at a credit union. I have some CDs. So my point, what I was gonna say, I thought he was gonna say yes, is we do have all of these things, and so it's not like you have to put all your eggs in one basket with Golden Trinity Group. You can have a high yield savings account and CDs and some bonds. I'm sure John definitely has stocks. Okay,
Yes.
I should have asked him that. Do you have some stocks and some ETFs? So again, I think our point is diversify. So make this one of your investments too. That's another reason why we'll tell you to go to invest.goldenTrinityGroup.com. Anything else, John?
No, I think this is awesome. Really look forward to continuing to talk to people and put this information out there. I think the more educated you can become about this, it's a really large part of why I went to
Yeah,
school, is
I
because
agree.
it's just not
I
taught.
agree. Yeah. The more you can be educated about this, the more you can feel comfortable doing it. And this could be something that you yourself do in the future. And I would love to see more people having their own real estate funds. We are stronger together. I'll just close it out
Yeah.
on that. You can invest right alongside me and my team. Stop letting your money sit idle in bank accounts that yield pennies while inflation eats away your purchasing power. It's time to put your money into real asset-backed wealth. Click the very first link in the description box right now to review our Reg CF offering, Golden Trinity Real Estate Group. Investing alongside me and my team with as little as $1,000. We handle finding the deals, securing the properties, and managing the tenants while you get direct exposure to real asset cash flow. You've been wanting to get involved, and now is the time. Go right now, invest.goldentrinitygroup.com. Go right now. Why? Because I want to make sure that you have all of the knowledge, all of the tools, and all of the resources that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success. Hey. All right. Thank you so much for staying to the end. I may be able to coach you, or you can take one of my classes. You can go to callnoelle.com and schedule a call with my team. And let's see if me and you can work together. All right. I'll see you in the next one.